Hello Internet! So this is long overdue video that was supposed to happen after 6 months on the boat. But it's late because I can't get myself sorted out. So, welcome to Canal Squid. It's our narrowboat where me, my wife, and our cat, Potato, who's on the floor somewhere there, live. We've been living here for about 6 months. We basically started living end of autumn. So we went through winter as our first big thing. So that was fun. I'm going to describe the boat from the front, which is behind me, at bow, to the back. And I'm going to tell you basics about it and what we changed or improved, if this was in any way related. Oh, sorry, relevant. And some information about how we dealt with anything that happened across the winter and the first 6 months. And then I won't really go into the details about everything that is happening. In theory, I'm planning to make a bunch of videos about specific parts of the boat, but realistically, who knows? If you want to see something specific, ask in comments and we will see what happens. Hopefully there will be photos appearing here that I added. Now, at the very front of the boat, there is a gas locker and the general bow of the boat. My wife is painting eyes and the general decorations and shapes that are quite traditional at the front because there was nothing there. And we have a gas locker. So gas locker, in our case, fits 3 bottles of gas. They are 13 kilogram bottles, and we bought top up in, I think, October, this says. Over the 6 months, we used 1 bottle and a bit. So it's realistic that we will use 3 bottles across the year, and that's fine. We aren't using our gas oven because we don't like them, and our also isn't great. I don't know whether we will get a new one or replace it completely with a cupboard or something. Who knows? Not relevant at the moment. Now, after the gas locker and everything, we have crutch and the crutch cover. It's basically an empty space at the front of the boat where you can sit and do stuff. Our is covered. We have glass at the front. Photos here maybe. That the wife is painting. And really old, falling apart crutch cover that has to be replaced, but those are honestly quite expensive. So maybe next year. Our crutch is not very deep because we have 1,000-liter tank of water under it. It's built into the boat, but also it has access hatch for cleaning and maintenance and everything. 1,000 liters of water for us easily covers 2 weeks unless we did a lot of washing, as in running the washing machine. And we are in the process of getting an air purification system, so that will be live in crutch and there will be video about it at some point, hopefully. Other than that, we just have a bunch of storage there that we have where we keep coal and wood and random other stuff really at the moment. We have really bad light at the front. We have to replace it at some point, but that's not really here or there. We have a door here. It's just a normal door. This is actually one of the best doors and best windows with proper double glazing we have on the boat. Anything else? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say it's fine. And it's the front of the boat. And we decided to set it up as a living room. And that's how, technically speaking, it was set up before we moved in. This is where the wood stove or multi-fuel stove is, right next to the camera here. And we got a couch, we moved our TV from the house, we moved reorganized some old furniture from the house, from the flat we had, because we didn't want to spend too much. But this couch is technically built for boats, and there's storage under it. It's pretty nice. Wood stove. At the beginning of the winter, we were really not very good with operating this efficiently, so we should have bought much more coal, but instead we bought a bunch of wood, so we were just burning wood. Generally speaking, I'm looking at numbers. I wanted to tell you how much bags of wood we bought, not how much money we spend on it. And it appears I had a pivot table. Yeah, I have a pivot table. Cool. So across our whole time, so 6 or 7 months, depending how you count, we bought 14 20 kilogram bags of coal. Could have done a bit more. And we got 40 bags of logs. And it's depending how you define it, how you define a bag. Ours are, like our standard bag of logs of wood is 18 pounds bag from Sainsbury's. And also we bought a bunch of kindling. Again, you could do less, probably. I don't know. We like it warm and it's our first winter, so we were trying to keep hot and positive. The boat has horrible windows. They all need replacing. They're not the worst windows you can have on a narrowboat, but they're single glaze, so the heat just goes out. And the wind also gets in. Oh, by the way, see, I'm very disorganized, as ever. 1,000-liter tank of water. So, as far as I know, on a narrowboat, it's as much water as you can get, without having external tanks or something. I'm sure there is like a boat somewhere that has more, but it's not typical. Typical, 1,000 liters is a maximum, and usually you would have much, much less. So we are in a good department there. That was one of the requirements, to have no less than 750, 800 liters. And on this, you could easily, like, without having your own washing machine, you could easily run much more than 2 weeks. I think we did 3 weeks at some point. I'm going to say we are done with the living room. There's a bunch of stuff here that we have to deal with. The water pump is here. We should figure out something with this. We just bought new one because current one basically broke. Doesn't matter. We may cover this at some point. Then we have a bathroom. Bathroom just has a normal shower. It's just very small. It will be hard to fall in it. But you can just have a normal shower. No weird stuff. And we have a composting toilet with a permanent fan and ventilation and everything. It's fine. If the boat is hot, it's a normal, comfortable shower. Then we have a bedroom. Bedroom is, I may show some photos here. We will see. The way our boat is built is that we have a corridor on one side, and it's actually reasonably wide, that goes length of the boat. So everything is on one side of the corridor, except rooms like this that just take the whole space, and the kitchen. So bedroom is just a big bed. In the past, it had a storage crate built under the bed, and then someone extended the crate to have a wider bed. Great idea. The problem is there was no quality ventilation, or maybe there was, but someone removed it when rebuilding it. We just scrapped all of it and bought the cheapest possible empty bottom frame for the bed. So now, instead of piles of wood and planking everywhere, it's just few pieces of metal and full open ventilation under it, with storage just being in the boxes that are mounted on small wheels, so they're kept off the floor, so there is airflow under the boxes on the floor. So far it's going great. We still have to actually replace all the stuff that we have there with proper, better boxes, because current setup is mostly done of offshoots we had somewhere to save money. The bedroom is also a room that has the hatch. It's called duck hatch because normally, in theory, you feed the ducks from it. It's a nice hatch, though the door just opens. Again, wife is making paintings for it to look nice and traditional and just pretty. And the top is just piece of metal, so it gets hot during the summer and cold during the winter, so we have to figure out something there with insulation. And small improvement I did that is very nice is I just spent a bunch of money buying a sheet of acrylic cut correctly to fit in the hatch. A row of magnets, we pop in the sheet of acrylic, close the top hatch, and you have so much light there. Normally it's pretty dark because it's like the longest continuous piece of the boat with no double windows. Oh, someone's coming past. Nice grey boat, moving faster than I would. Some nice blue paint. They have door Kingfisher. They had the door to the hatch with glass. Our is just wood, so hence the plane of acrylic. So yeah, just some acrylic. I will show some photos later. Or maybe they already been here. Who knows? Again, very disorganized doing this for the first time. I hope the camera is still recording. We will see. Anyway, bedroom. Then we have kitchen / office. So there's empty space there, and we decided to put our desks there. So they are next to each other. On the way to kitchen, it's just one continuous piece of plywood, basically, even though those are desks. Really, we should pay someone for like proper unified desk, but doesn't matter. We are both working from the boat most of the time. I have to go to the office twice a week and my wife once a week. So we are using quite a lot of electricity running 2 laptops and 2 screens. Now, our kitchen. There may be a photo of kitchen here from before we moved in. It's cut in half with a passageway in the middle. There is sink. It's horrible. There is a removable handle for water. Super low quality trash. I have to find a way to replace it, but the plumbing under is not great. We got some water filtration there that currently we aren't using because it wastes a bunch of water for flushing. So until the main system is in, it just wastes of water. Normal kitchen with smaller but reasonable size gas hobs that work perfectly fine, and a gas oven that we aren't using because again we just don't like it, and just about enough storage. We have a dishwasher. We have a washing machine, not a dishwasher. I would love a dishwasher. We have a washing machine. It works perfectly fine. No issues whatsoever. It just works. And obviously the problem is that if you want to wash your clothes in hot water because you need to, there is no, like, you don't want it to take electricity to heat the water unless it's summer, but it's just a mess and all that. So you can pour in hot water manually, like from a sink because you have hot water, or we could replumb it so it has access to just hot water from the hot water tank, but that's a hassle. And recently we've been actually parked or moored close to places that have those massive washing machines. I forgot the name of the supermarket, but doesn't matter. We pop in, put the clothes in, go shopping, and by the time we are go shopping, we just pick it up on the way and just dry it normally. So yeah, that's that. Behind the kitchen, again, there is a space with washing machine and a bit of extra space. So our main house battery is, for example, there. It has to be inside. It cannot be in engine bay. It is, what do you call it? I have it all saved. We are running on a Fogstar battery. It's 48 volts and 16 kilowatts. It's reading us fine. If I would have a wide beam, I would have like at least one more of those, but on a narrow boat, it's both big and heavy. We could fit it, but like, it takes space. It is technically expensive. A lot of newer boats will have around 16 kilowatt hours of electricity, and the benefit of having 48 watts is that I can have a powerful Victron inverter that can charge the battery really fast, because we are using quite a lot of power continuously for like 8 hours a day when we are working, so that takes a lot of power. Normally, we would charge, well, during winter is what I mean. If there is no sun whatsoever, we would charge with a generator. Our generator was frankly trash and it broke, and the company doing warranty is horrible. I'm going to make a video about it later after I get it back. Nevertheless, it has normal 13 amp sockets for a UK normal, and we're running it at 2.3 kilowatt hours. So within an hour, we get 15% of the battery. It's fine. We run it like every other day or something. Since the generator broke, actually it was sunny, and beginning of April, because I didn't have the generator for like a month, sun is perfect. It's fine. We will get to the roof and the solar panels in a moment. Engine bay. So we should do a video about engine bay. Our engine is old. The whole boat is 30 years old and the engine is 30 years old. It works fine, but we should do maintenance. It needs a new clutch, and the controller for the engine is just doesn't have neutral, for example, so we should replace it. But it's been a pain because it has, I think, someone manually added 2 buttons for the bow thruster. Again, forgot to say, under the crutch we have a bow thruster. It's an amazing thing. Navigational aid. Navigational aids are amazing and you should have them. There are obviously consequences. It's a hole in the hull. It's very hard to paint it correctly, doing the blacking, all of that stuff. But it's great. So if you can have it, it's amazing. So, engine bay. Our engine bay is actually massive. If you have to work in our engine bay, it's a great experience comparing to some other boats I've seen. It has an engine. It has batteries for running the engine, 12 volts, nothing else. Crutch also has a battery for running the starter, and they're wired. So basically we always have 2 batteries connected for everything, so it's unlikely they go flat for whatever reason. An engine just charges the batteries that itself uses with alternator, nothing else. We had, when the boat came in, a gas boiler. A gas boiler is a nightmare. It's not the thing you have in a flat. It required turning on the gas manually, setting up a starter, making sure it lights up. It's just nightmare. Now we replaced it with a Webasto boiler, or like Webasto heater really, that heats the water in our old system, which is just a massive tank of water that gets hot. It works fine, but it keeps throwing errors recently that the exhaust is too hot, but we know it's not. So the person that we are actually going towards the person that mounted a lot of work stuff for us, and as a part of warranty and maintenance, he will have a second look at it because it's just weird. And the very end of the boat is a diesel tank, 200 liters. So the end of the boat is like reasonably sized deck where you can stand, do stuff, you steer from it. You could have a tea there if you have chairs. We got rid of ours. And it has a pram cover where, well, no, if it rains, you can have it up. We have it up almost all the time, really, because we treat the whole pram space mostly as an inside, and a lot of people treat it as an outside, so it's like popped down when not needed, and the rain rains on it and all of that. Which isn't really a problem, just you don't want it. So, overlook on some of the costs, I'm going to say, all running costs. We've been taking diesel, and diesel is used for us for moving around, which we did almost nothing, because again I have to be close to the train stations around London for now, so we moved mostly once every 2 weeks and closely within the stations, as we've been learning how all of this works. And so we took diesel, where is it? Back to pivot. We took total of 630 liters of diesel, at average of like around a pound. So 670 pounds spent on diesel. This includes heating, right? And that is our biggest bill. So moving boat around and heating, and both engine and Webasto heater use about liter an hour with caveats, maybe up to liter and a half, but let's say with liter and a half. So we spent 600 pounds on all of this during the 6 months, right? This really tapered off when it got hotter. Gas, nothing. We just got 2 bottles 6 months ago. Petrol. So we got total of 160 liters of petrol, and we still have at this moment like 20 spare for the generator. So our total cost of electricity for 6 months was £210. That I think is great, honestly, because I remember when we were renting the house, we would spend that much on heating in a month because it was like poorly insulated British flat. But we did spend quite a lot on heating in general via solid fuels and stuff like this. Though I'm happy. We are saving money versus paying for rental, so that's that. What else? Let me see what else we've done that is relevant. We are using 5G internet at the moment. There is antenna on the top of the boat. Oh yeah, let's go to the roof. So front of the boat, we have a mast with very small mast, and it's a bigger one with a 5G antenna. And most of the time, both of us can work fine from it. The uploads aren't great, but it's fine. And if you park in a good spot, more within like city limits and less in the middle of nowhere, the internet can be perfect. We will probably get a Starlink at some point, but like I hate the idea of paying the guy, but a lot of people have it and love it and it's great. So I will probably get it. We have 2 cameras. They just work off the sun and sit on Wi-Fi. We have normal Teltonica router, like many people do, running off 12 volts. We have 3 solar panels giving us total of more or less kilowatt and a half of total solar energy. We never went over like a kilowatt of input, which is expected. We are in UK, it's April, and our angles are most of the time at best okay. Those are flat panels that sit at like, maybe this would be 45, maybe 30 degrees to the sun 30 degrees off the ground at best. So sometimes they get 90 if the sun is in the perfect position. So getting kilowatt out of kilowatt and a half of maximum possible input is amazing. Usually we get less. But it happens over 6 hours, so it's fine. On average, we would eat 2.5 to 3 kilowatts of energy just living on a boat, working and everything. That includes the night. So overnight, obviously, we have no sun whatsoever, because in the winter you always get something, but during the night we get nothing, and then when it really falls down by like 7%, between 6 in the evening and 7 in the morning. Crate on the roof. We have a crate on the roof. It's okay. I'm making a bigger one. And then pram, and then nothing else. I think I may have told you everything. Yeah. So, experience of living on a boat. It's been fine. Most of the stresses we have are not related to the boat. They are related to basically owning a house. And sometimes you also move the house and you would like to not to bump into the walls in a canal or something too much. Stress of moving the boat went away within a few weeks. We have the problem of moving the boat every 2 weeks, so you don't get into it. When we've been moving from up north towards London for like, we've been then going like 12 hours a day for a week, and it got like fine, totally fine, really fast. And now it gets like really stressful for the first 15 minutes when I take off. The engine at the front, for navigation, amazing, highly recommend, but again, it's not like someone is going to add it. If you're buying a boat, consider this as a massive benefit. The boat gets cold at night. I actually went and looked at my statistics for the flat we had in the past. The boat doesn't get colder than the flat, on like as a vertical of how fast it falls when there's no heating. The difference is that the boiler at the house just turns on for like 15 minutes every half an hour if it wants to, and it's fine. The only consequence is you are paying for gas. Inside of the boat, the Webasto shouldn't run for less than an hour, and also we have very like house normal controller for it, so there is no way to tell it that. There is no way to tell it to run for no less than an hour, so it's like just silly setup where it just turns on for 2 hours and turns off in the middle of the night, which is great, but it can get cold if you misconfigure the setup. I'm actually working with like a basic small home assistant kit. I'm going to wire a relay and then set up a scene that says turn on for 2 hours, and then we can configure it so if temperature falls down to under something, it turns for 2 hours. I'm actually testing Home Assistant. I have it running and getting data because then I can have like quite complicated rules. Home Assistant is great. I just never had a need to really configure it, and now it's not done because the relays aren't wired in because I'm scared of messing about with electricity. Not good at it at all. When it's sunny, it gets hot. It's like right now it's 14 outside, but in the morning it can be 10 outside and already 20 here and growing from the sun alone. It's great. You just open all the windows, turn on the fan or two. It's perfect. No issues there. Water, I already talked about water. Gas isn't a problem. Electricity isn't a problem because we have a generator. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there are some things that made me very stressed that are specifically related to having a boat. And I will probably mention them in the future videos. A lot of stuff is just the things that we don't know anything. We did like the research for years while we've been saving for the boat, but that's no compare to like actually having the experience. So for example, a few months ago, we lost a lot of coolant in the engine. And panic, what happened, what's broken, how much it will cost. Well, it turns out that the rubber hose that connects the tank that we just filled to the radiator, to like the cooling system of the engine, was just trash and old and like should have been replaced years ago. I just cut off, shorten it. I will have to buy a new one, and it's perfectly fine. It's just a hole. And before we move, whenever we move, we do full checkup of all of the coolants, oils, and everything in the engine. So we just cut it, fixed it, and done. Yeah. So we will see. I do not know. There's definitely more stuff to say. If you would like to have some questions answered, pop them in the comments. I will try to answer something, and potentially I'll just make a video about the specific thing. I was going to make a video about the pram and the engine compartment and what's there and how we deal with it every single time we try to move. I may do something. I will definitely do something about the water system and the crutch. And then, I don't know. At some point this channel was really supposed to be about funny cooking on the boat because people said it was hard. But usually when I'm cooking on the boat, I'm really hungry and I just want to eat, not do the stuff. We just had the okonomiyaki. It's great. Easy. No difference than cooking at home. Have some okonomiyaki, it's great. Yeah. Bye!